Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Zennon Kapron. I'm here this afternoon to take you through international growth markets. It's great to see so many people here. You know, I was at a conference a couple weeks ago, and the last day is always a day that it tapers off. But here at the FinTech Festival, it seems to have only grown, and seeing more people here. So over the course of this afternoon, I'll talk a little bit more about what we're going through, but a key tool for this afternoon is Slido. If you haven't signed up for Slido, there's a QR code on the screen. Download that. We will have opportunities for you to ask questions. There's going to be a poll. There's going to be lots of prizes. Okay, I'm kidding about the prizes, but there will be opportunity to interact with some of the guests, so please do download it when you have a chance. When Ella Vendi came to me and said, look, we're doing this session on international growth markets, could you help us out? I was thinking about what that meant. And I prepared a couple of slides around this, but talking a little bit about what finance means in international growth markets. You know, I think when we look at what's happening here in Singapore, you know, pretty much everybody is banked, right? 98% of the population has access to a bank account. But it's not always the case in other markets. There was a great quote from Robert Shiller, if you're familiar with him, that talks about really the meaning of what we're doing here in finance. And that's something that we often forget when we're in places. Now, there is obviously an understanding that finance can do a lot. And that's shown by fintech investment that has been keeping strong relatively, although slowed down a little bit for this year. And it's doing a lot. When we look at numbers that show the unbanked population, particularly from 2014 to 2017, with India, the UPI, India Stack, Aadhaar, has done a tremendous amount to bring people into the financial ecosystem. And I think really, when we look across the region, although here in Singapore, again, we kind of forget about financial inclusion, it's a big part of the fintech story. And it's a big part of what we're trying to do, or at least should be doing, in the market. And that's hopefully some of the stuff that we'll talk about today in the international growth markets. Although these numbers are impressive, there's still much more to be done. When we looked at the unbanked versus the underbanked, there's still a gap. Just because people have access to a bank account and traditional financial services, that doesn't mean they're actually using them or able to use them. And we still have a lot to do around the underbanked as well, which I think part of the story that we've seen here over the course of this week around resilience at the Singapore FinTech Festival, and whether that be crypto companies or lending companies or many of the fintechs that are here, there's still a role of fintech in terms of making the world better. So over the course of this afternoon, we're going to talk about some of these things. We've got a VC panel, we've got panels of practitioners, startup founders, really take advantage of what's there. To end this with another quote, from Benjamin Franklin, I think, this is what we're here this week to do. It's, of course, to catch up with old friends, meet new people, but also to increase our knowledge. And I think that's one of the amazing things that I found over the course of this week is how much there is to learn and how much people have been sharing this week as well. So to kick things off, just one quick poll to make sure that you all have Slido working. If we could bring the poll up on the screen. Really just what excites you about the next 5 years in fintech? Is it the ability to impact financial inclusion, how the industry can make finance seamless and ubiquitous, how fintech will redefine the metaverse, or maybe nothing excites you about fintech, or maybe you don't even know what fintech is and you're in the wrong conference, the AgTech conference down the hall perhaps that you should be at. So take a minute please and answer these. Maybe if we can bring up the results. Seamless and ubiquity. That will certainly be one of the topics in this afternoon. So welcome to the session this afternoon. So great, again, to see so many of you here. We've got a really good afternoon for you. I'll be taking you through that. As you have questions, please use Slido. Please do ask those questions because that's really what it's about. Again, it's about the knowledge.